Yo, we just got an all-time high from Ethereum. This is the highest price of Ethereum since 2021. We're talking about 4 years of down and sideways and almost making it happen Ethereum price action. And when Ethereum runs, we have a big opportunity for the rest of the cryptocurrency markets. And right now, we have a narrative in stablecoins and treasury assets, right, that is going to help push Ethereum to new heights, maybe 5,000, 6,000, maybe 7 or 8,000. Then we should be able to get a nice off season into a blow off top. But let's dive in a little deeper on the catalyst here. We're talking about stable coins, revenue coins, and I got a few other blockchains that I want to tap in to put on your radar and see if you are interested in what they got going on. So check out this clip from Hedera that talks about stablecoins.
But we have seen recently the rise of payments and crypto payments, stablecoins, CBDCs, and it feels like 2025 stablecoins are the killer app. Everyone's talking about them. The biggest stat that has resonated with me recently is that in 2024, over $26 trillion worth of value was transferred in stablecoins, which, to put into perspective, is more than Visa and MasterCard put together at around 23 trillion. So I think this kind of sense that 2025 is going to be the year of stablecoins and crypto payments has a lot of backing in terms of fact.
What he was talking about there from Hedera is that stablecoins outdone Visa and MasterCard. But who will benefit most from these stablecoins? It's got to be Ethereum, y'all. It's got to be Ethereum. So let's check out the headlines for this week's crypto news. Ether notches first new record since 2021 after Powell's speech teasing rate cuts. So Jerome Powell spoke this weekend in Wyoming, and he basically became dovish. Dovish meaning he's going to go a little softer on rate cuts and just his whole tone and energy. Not hawkish. Hawkish scares the market. Dovish makes the market happy. So on Friday, we got a nice pump of all the stocks, all the cryptos, and that's when Ethereum hit that all-time high. Some platforms it didn't hit. Most platforms it did, only by a few dollars, $5 or $10 before retracement. So this is some very powerful stuff. If Jerome Powell gives us a rate cut, a 0.25, a 0.5, or even a 1 in September, the markets will go crazy, and Ethereum should be leading the way. So Ether surged 15% late Friday, rising as high as 4,885 and surpassing its November 2021 record of 4,866. The move came during Powell's annual address from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in which he indicated conditions may warrant interest rate cuts. I like that. Ether has more than doubled over the past 2 months, outperforming Bitcoin over the period. Now, crypto sentiment returns to greed as Bitcoin and Ether spike on Fed speech. So this is all about the Fed. This is all about the big dogs. A popular crypto sentiment tracker surged back into greed on Saturday after Fed Chair Jerome Powell hinted at a possible rate cut. So they say buy in fear, sell in greed. So if you were trading Ether, trading Bitcoin, you were buying in maybe April, May, June, even early July, you should have some nice gains. People think it's going much higher. I'm one of those people that's thinking it's going much higher. So that's looking good. And then we got Tom Lee over here at BitMine, which is basically the guy or the company that is doing the strategy where you accumulate Bitcoin. That's what Michael Saylor did. Tom Lee is using Ethereum. So the top two cryptos have become treasury and corporate assets. why Bitmine's massive discount could signal a major opportunity. So Bitmine's on the discount. This is another way to get into Ethereum if you're not just holding Ethereum directly. So here's some key points. The company has rapidly become the world's largest corporate holder of Ethereum through a focused and aggressive treasury acquisition strategy. A substantial stock repurchase program signals management's strong confidence in the company's future and its currently undervalued share price. So people are buying this. Prominent institutional investors are backing Bitmine's vision, lending significant credibility to his long-term Ethereum-focused corporate mission. And Bitmine, ticker is BMNR, surged 12% on Friday. So keep your eyes on Bitmine. Now, let's dive into the main chunk of today's video, which is revenue coins. These are coins that generate money, right? In the stock market, you got companies that have earnings. All of them do earnings, which shows that they're generating money relative to their share price. Some companies that make a lot of money then give dividends. So they're growing, they're mature, they give out dividends, which is money to their investors. In cryptocurrency, we now have revenue coins as well. And those are some of my favorite coins to purchase and to hold because you can earn a yield on them. And remember, the Clarity Act allows for companies like BlackRock, Bitmine, Ether Machine, all these companies that are holding Ethereum to stake Ethereum, which they can earn 3, 5, 7%. That's another form of a dividend. So let's dive in deep into these revenue coins. The first one up is Aerodrome. Aerodrome has been pumping lately. I've been talking about it on this channel. So hopefully y'all been paying attention or at least got you a little bit of this in your portfolio. Either way, this is a revenue generating coin plus a revenue generating platform. If we go down here into the liquidity page and look at the volume, right? This is 24-hour volume. Wrapped ETH/USDC has done $1 billion in volume, generating 413,000 in fees. And this is a concentrated liquidity pool right here. It helps move money smoothly. That's crazy to me, right? $1 billion. And then you have the basic volatile pool, which is a basic pool. This is the one that I like to yield farm out of. It's a less management than a concentrated liquidity. But the USDC and Aero pool had a volume of 59 million, which generated 177,000 in fees. That gives you a 50% APR. This thing prints. This platform is a printer, right? And then you got a whole bunch of pools, virtuals, Euro, Bitcoin. Either you can do it in concentrated or you can use the wrapped pool. And even right here, if you go to a concentrated Euro and USDC, which this one should be a lot easier to manage, 60% APR. That's crazy, right? And then for the people who lock, right? I'm not logged in right here, but you can go lock and then vote. So lock in your Aero. I locked some of my Aerodrome about a year ago. You lock it for a several amount of years, and the longer you lock it, the more voting power, which they call V Aero. That's what you get. So I have voting power now. I got 3 years left on the Aero that I locked. Every week in the voting tab, you can then vote on which one of these pools that you want to basically incentivize. And then when you vote on those pools, you receive some of the fees. So every week, every Thursday, you get a payment from locking in your V Aero, and that comes through the revenues that this platform is making. Because remember, every swap is a fee. Every pool that these people are swapping in and out of, there's a small fee there that goes to the revenue for V Aero voters, and it goes to the fees for the people who has deposited in the pool, and then they collect emissions. That makes sense? Leave a comment in the chat. So revenue, Aerodrome. And here's some highlights. Highlights from the last week. Number one ETH pool in 2025. So Aerodrome is number one right now. 250 billion in all-time volume. That's crazy. And Aerodrome was on Bankless HQ, talking on the Bankless platform, getting more media. What is ALM and why I use it? They break all that down. And Coinbase won DEX perks, and the Aerodrome volume source plus 1 billion. And then you got the launch of a couple coins, Docker, Bio, Ripe. But the cool part is Coinbase has just integrated Aerodrome into their mainnet platform. So Aerodrome is now linked to Coinbase in a way that people would have never imagined. 5% of the users now have access to basically trade any coin that's on Aerodrome on the Coinbase app, right? 10 billion more than the top pool on mainnet. So Aerodrome year to date has a volume of $10 billion more than Uniswap, which is on mainnet. So Aerodrome is number one, and that makes sense why the price is surging and why you can yield farm. So if you put like, let's say, 100,000 or so into the Aerodrome pool that I just showed you over here, Aero and USDC, you could be making crazy numbers, So even imagine 10,000, you can be making crazy numbers. Even 1,000, you can make crazy numbers because that's a 50% APY plus Aerodrome is going up and expect it to come back down and balance itself out as a pullback before the next leg up. It's not even at all-time high. All right, and then this last recap about Aerodrome, our first revenue coin we're talking about. Aerodrome reaches its highest volume week of the last 6 months as the Coinbase DEX rollout continues. Now available for 5% of Coinbase users. And that's what I was just talking about. So 5.88 billion in total volume, 4.5 million distributed in voting rewards. That's what I was talking about here. Almost $5 million. And then almost another 5 million in swap fees. So 10 million delivered to the holders, which are the voters and the people who are running pools. I do both. I think the money here is going to continue to flow, y'all. On to our second coin, Moonwell, another coin I've been talking about. It hasn't had the same explosive price action recently as Aerodrome. However, you can get your money here too. Besides just the platform, obviously, USDC earning 10%. You can borrow and lend. A lot of revenue comes through these platforms here. You have the vaults, 10% USDC, 3% on ETH, 4% on Euro, and then the revenue right here. So every week, Moonwell collects the revenue, and then a vote gets sent over to the governance page. You get to vote here, and that's these liquidity proposals. So Moonwell collects all the fees that they gather from Coinbase, Ethereum. They gather them from swaps, all the stuff that's happening, and then you vote, and then once that vote goes through, the staking APR changes. And right now it's at 15%. It usually spikes between 15 and 25%. That's all from the revenue being purchased. They purchase the whale back, and then they send it to the whale holders that are staking on this platform. There's a 2-day unstake window and a 7-day cool down window. So it takes you about 7 to 9 days to remove or withdraw your money if you're getting it out. So that's not bad. And otherwise, you're just earning the whole time on here. I've been staking for over a year now. Revenue's been good, y'all. The revenue's been good. And here it is. Cumulative daily revenue generated on Base. So this is from Monday, June 30th, just about a month and a half ago. Moonwell revenue, 2.742 million. Aave revenue, 1.48 million. So Moonwell is generating way more revenue than Aave, and Aave is the big Ethereum platform. So put that one on your radar if you ain't been in Moonwell. It's going crazy. And then did you see that? This is Luke, the founder of Moonwell. From June 2024 to June 2025, Moonwell generated more revenue than Aave and Morpho combined on Base. This is a direct result of our strong partnership with Morpho and our relentless focus on capital efficiency, vault performance fees, and OEV drive it. There we go. Here we go. Here, Moonwell leads with a 32% increase in active loans. These loans, there's a fee associated. Moonwell creates more revenue. And these are some of the big platforms that provide borrowing and lending in the crypto space. So I definitely recognize Curve, Maple Finance, Radiant Capital, Moonwell, the biggest increase right now. Not the biggest platform overall, but soon to get there. Now, on to our third revenue generating coin. This is Mammo. I've been only recently talking about this one. So what Mammo does is it's a AI agent that manages your savings. Let's start growing your money. So you give Mammo access. Mammo can move your coins and compound your USDC at 9.9%, your Bitcoin at 0.6, and the Mammo token at 14. This number changes. A few days ago, it was at 20%. Mammo collects revenue from different pools that it's paired with. All the revenue that it receives via fees and emissions and incentives, it then sends it back to the platform here and shares it with the Mammo holders. And you can choose to compound all of your revenue back into Mammo and then let that compound process happen, or you can send your BTC to itself and let BTC do its thing. But that's how it works. It's pretty cool. 70,000 in rewards flowing to Mammo depositors this week. So you deposit Mammo and earn your share of 100 and roughly 65,000 Mammo, 0.216 of Bitcoin, and 15, almost 16,000 virtual. As Mammo earns, so do you. Check in and take a look. There it is. So as Mammo owns, so do you. It's your share of your weekly revenue Mammo generates, quietly stacking in the background while you go about your day. AI agent stuff is crazy. So on the Aerodrome platform, this is where the Mammo liquidity is located. So when people are trading, let's say you want to trade Bitcoin for Mammo, that's what you got here. Or you want to trade virtual for Bitcoin. There's a routing process that DEXs go through to find you the best pairs. And then there's a pool trading fee associated with it. So virtual Mammo pool is the 1%. Mammo BTC is 0.25. And then you see the numbers as it goes. So as people are, trading Zora or trading Bitcoin, trading Edge, they get routed. And if they're routed through a Mammo pool, Mammo collects a fee. And you can see the fees right here. Virtual Mammo, 6,000 in fees. Mammo BTC, 7,000. Mammo Wrapped ETH, 2,000. Mammo USDC, 3,000. And then the fees go up and down depending on the volume that we have. This volume, 600,000. Obviously, the largest volume will be Bitcoin, Ethereum. So that's what we got. And then those fees, as you've seen here, go back to Mammo holders. Revenue generator right there. So that's pretty dope. Now, the third and final one I want to show you, this one's also new. I'm just starting to cover is Venice. Private Uncensored AI, VVV and DM on base. So that's Venice. So this is essentially like a ChatGPT Sora type of platform. And it requires VVV tokens to pay for a subscription, which helps drive the price. And then they have DM, which gives you credit for using the Venice APIs. It's kind of like its own economy. And then VVV is the only token you can use to mint DM. So they're kind of working with each other. $119 million market cap, 7.48. So this platform here, Ask Venice anything, what is VVV token? It collects essentially revenue in VVV. And then here it is, it's chatting to me. You can upgrade to Pro, $149 a year, right? Then monthly, $18 a month. So private, unlimited text generation, 1,000 images requests per day, edit images, upscale, enhance, create and share characters, securely back up chat history, access the newest and most capable models, disable mute mature filter, API access, and disables image watermark. It's a business right here. This is a business, and then it just chopped it up to me right there, and then to go privately and all of that. So that's another coin. And that's what we got for the revenue generators. Again, it's we got Aerodrome, Moonwell, Mamo, and Venice. Now we're going to talk about Hedera. This ain't about revenue generation no more. This is just another blockchain that is getting a lot of attention that we should definitely talk about. So Hedera, for the Hedera fans, trusted infrastructure for institutions proven at scale since 2018. So here's a few of the highlights. Fortune 500 backed council governance validator network. That's the Googles, the IBMs, the Walmarts, all these type of people, big banks. Fixed USD transaction fees. I like that. No front running. And that's those bots and stuff. Built-in sanctions, AML, KYC, institutions ready. Fully encrypted messaging, institutions like that as well. Hybrid optionality via hash fear, private and public. So they, again, are ready. And Lemon Bard, the CEO, co-founder, be out here. All right, so Hedera Foundation made this post. As per CoinMarketCap, Hedera has the most bullish sentiment of all listed networks. I think this is important to show y'all. So we got Hedera at 92% as a bullish network. So people, and Hedera went crazy too a few months ago. Near at 91, Link at 91, Stellar 89, AVAX 88, FET 87, Ondo 87. Some of my coins I like up here. Caspa 86, Pepe, and ADA as the top per CoinMarketCap. Hedera, the most bullish at 92%. So this is the clip from the clip I played y'all at the very beginning of this video. It's from HederaCon. At HederaCon earlier this year, was predicted for the 2025 will be the year of stablecoins. With new U.S. and EU regulations and a market cap nearing 250 billion, it looks like this guy here was right, and that's the clip I told you about. And he said, in the clip, 26 billion or trillion more than Visa and MasterCard, and it's predicted that stablecoins will 10x or so from here and just usability. We got the Genius Act. We got Ethereum, which is going to benefit massively because that's where most of the stable coins are. But then you got the L1 blockchains. Hedera, Stellar, Algorand, AVAX, all the coins, all the Solana, all the blockchains that stable coins run on. That's what we need to be buying. And then the pools that I like is the Hedera USDC pool on Saucer Swap. Print crazy money as well. So those are the ones we need to pay attention to, and that's why I played this clip. And then again, Stablecoin Studio on Hedera. Stablecoin Studio is an open source SDK that makes it easy for Web3 stablecoin platforms, institutional user enterprises, and payment providers to build stablecoin applications on the Hedera network. So they have a whole platform for helping companies and builders integrate stablecoins using the Hedera network. That's a smart play and a nice power move right there. And then here's all the stats for Hedera and all the companies that are putting in the work. Stablecoins built on Hedera, all their different applications here. So check those out. All right, now I want to get to y'all. This is something that people been talking to me about, and I wanted to start a light investigation. If y'all like me to talk about internet computer more, please let me know. I'll dive in deeper. But here we go. World Computer. The internet computer hosts secure network, resident code, and data, build web apps without big tech's current IT. Applications are immune to cyber attacks and unstoppable, capable of processing tokens, and can run under exclusive DAO control. Build Web3 social media games, DeFi, multi-chain apps, secure front ends, ledgers, enterprise apps, and API models. TCP/IP connected software, ICP host software. This is internet computer. This is internet computer, as they call it, the world computer. And then here's a list of some of the platforms and things that they're promoting here. And this one is UNDP partners with the Definity Foundation. This is the internet computer to enhance financial inclusion of MSMEs. So we got to see what that is, right? So basically, they are working with Cambodia. That's what they're working with, Cambodia. So we've seen UNDP. I cover UNDP. They do a lot of humanitarian work and different technology solutions for other countries outside of the Western powers. The partnership with Definity Foundation marks a pivotal moment in our efforts to enhance digital inclusion and economic empowerment in Cambodia. The UN Secretary says, by harnessing cutting-edge technology, we create a more secure and accessible digital credentializing system that will drive sustainable development and economic growth. The Definity Foundation is the creator and major contributor to the Internet Computer Protocol, that's ICP, the underlying technology that will be instrumental in building a decentralized and tamper-proof data infrastructure, providing the high-level security and transparency needed in the UTC initiative to succeed. The collaboration will not only benefit Cambodia, but after the pilot in Cambodia, this project plans to scale to 10 countries. Essentially, databases, digital identity, healthcare, passports, aid facilitation, that's all the stuff that UNDP is working with. And they're using platforms like Internet Computer, Algorand, Hedera, and all of those type of companies. So I'm putting that one on your radar. And then use cases, unlock endless possibilities with internet computer use cases. So this is here for y'all to check out. They got AI models, DeFi, community-owned Web3, that's the DAOs, and then extending Web2 software with blockchains, which is like Internet 2.5. And then the roadmap page, if y'all want me to dive in deeper, I will definitely do that for y'all. But again, today's video, we dove deep into stablecoins, Ethereum's rise, a little bit about the Fed and how the Fed is going to pump Ethereum in alt season. And then the deep dive, the main story is on revenue producing coins, the Aerodromes, the Moonwells, the Mamos, the Venice AI platforms. Pay attention to that, y'all. And if y'all have any questions, hit me in the comments below. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, y'all. Peace. Passive income, gold in my dental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.